Welcome to the 2018-19 Test Administrator Training. This training is brought to you by the Oregon Department of Education and the Portland Public Schools Educational Measurement and Assessment Unit with the System Planning and Performance Department. Most of you know us as Testing Help. We coordinate and support local, state, and national assessments. This annual training is required for all school test coordinators and all test administrators administering our statewide assessments. Some of you have participated in this training year after year, while others are new to our statewide assessment system. Please stay engaged throughout this training and write down any questions you may have. Please know that each year ODE makes changes to the assessment requirements, administration guidelines, and more. To be successful in this role, you must have the knowledge and understanding of the statewide assessment system and the changes therein. Our learning goals for you today are that after this training, you will know and understand ODE's guidelines and expectations for the 2018-19 state testing season. You will also have the Portland Public Schools relevant information for this testing year. You will know where to find resources and support tools for your role as a test administrator, and you will have the basic knowledge needed to be successful as a TA. In order to complete your full training requirements, a test administrator will either need to participate in this online training or an in-person training conducted by the school test coordinator. Following the online training or the in-person training, or prior to, the test administrator must complete the following required readings. At the end of this training, you will be asked to electronically sign a test assurance form. When you sign this test assurance form, you are committing that you are either completed with the reading or you will be completing the reading prior to administering the statewide assessments. Within this training, you will be presented information from the Oregon Department of Education and from the Testing Help team. The slide seen here is the format of the Oregon Department of Education required slides. And the chalkboard slide here, seen here, are the slides we integrated into the slide deck and contain PPS relevant information. If you have the required manuals on hand, it can be helpful to follow along with them during this training. If it is helpful, you may pause this training to gather supplies and resources to use as you move through the training. This training will be accessible on Pepper throughout the testing season. If you are completing this training long before you actually administer the tests, you may want to review this training as a refresher course later on. At the bottom of each ODE slide, the manual discussed is referenced along with the page numbers. Before we get started, this year ODE launched and introduced their rebranding of the statewide assessment system. The intention is to focus on the content and intention of our assessments rather than vendor name or product association. Nothing has changed in the construct of the assessments, just how we refer to them and label them. A good example is Kleenex versus tissue. We are just calling our assessments what they are rather than by a brand or a title. Let's get started and move into the next section.